This conference will now
So
be recorded.
just we'll have a kind of review to the yesterday's session so that it will be clear for us what is all we have discussed. So what we started with yesterday, we started with a program definition. Okay. So program. So what is a program? Can you tell me? Program. Very good. Get the output. It is as simple as that. So what is a program? A set of instructions along with the data. Along with the data. Sir, why sir you can just say input? No. Why you always put instructions and data? Why you always categorize? People ask me. So what I will tell them is, if you say just input, it will not convey the whole idea. So basic idea is you need to have instructions also, you need to have the data also. So the instructions will work on the data. Always remember that. The instructions will work on the data. So all the time instructions will not be straight. The instructions uh, may not be straight as now. For example, if I'm saying add 4 and 3. So here instruction is clear and data is clear. So data may be clear or data you may have to put into the program, but instructions might not be very clear all the time. So you need to have a logical understanding. Okay, so that is where your domain understanding to the picture. Domain understanding means understanding of the problem, understanding of the problem. So understanding of the problem becomes very, very important. So if you don't understand the problem, if you don't understand the problem, so it is not very easy for you to write the code. So that is why I'm saying instructions. What my point is here, instructions may not be clearly given every time. So you need to have a understanding. So that is where we are going to work with. Okay, so that is the area where we are going to concentrate more, understanding the program. Yes, is my point clear? Okay, so a set of instructions along with the data considered as what? Considered as input. Considered as input that are to be processed. That are to be processed to give what? To give the output. To give the output. So always this definition is going to help you a lot, because in the program what is there, sir? I, P and O. So what is I? Input. What is P? Processing. What is O? Output. So you might write a 2-line program or a 10-line program or a 100-line program or a 5,000-line program. So at the end of the day you have to do IPO only. May not be giving the inputs, you may not be looking at the output every time, but the logic you have to write. So that is why I always say input is only 5% of our job, output is only 5% of our job, but the logic is 90% of the job. So that is where you are going to concentrate more. So the more concentration you do on that logic, the more better you will become. Am I crystal clear? Yes. Okay. Now we also had a discussion on how we can write the code. So directly it is not like writing the code. It's looking at the program, writing the code, it is not the way. So you need to follow some steps. You need to follow some steps. So steps in program development. Steps in program development. So what is the program development basically? Program development means developing a program. So developing, suppose you are working for a company. You're working for a company. So what your client will ask you? Your client will ask you to develop the software. What is software? Set of programs. He is asking you to develop a software. Definitely yes. So he will not say you write this program, you write a program for prime num. He is not going to say that. He is going to say you create a software for me. You create a software for me. So you will write programs to make that full software, because software is nothing but what? Set of programs. It is as simple as that. Is it clear? Okay. So what kind of softwares and all we will talk about later. So first we need to understand, because we start our journey with program writing only. Yes or no? So for program writing, what are the steps that are going to be very, very important. So the first thing that is going to be important is designing the program. Designing. Sir, what is this designing, sir? Okay, I'll give you a small example. Now I want to build a house. Okay, so I want to build a house. So directly I will not call a mestri to do it, right? So what I will do, first I will call an architect. So that architect will design a plan, so he'll take a long white paper, and he'll be using all the tools what are required. So he will be building the plan. So he'll be designing the plan basically. In program writing also, always the first step is what? Always the first step is going to be what? Designing the program. Okay, so designing program. So what you are going to do, sir? You are going to design the program. Yes, and this is the first step. What is the first step? Designing the program. Sir, what are the things that we take into consideration, sir, when we are designing the program? We will take two things into consideration: algorithm and the flow chart. What are the two things? Algorithm and the flow chart. Now, the next question that comes is, sir, throughout my career, do I need to write the algorithms? Do I need to work with the flow chart? No, not at all. Initially, so yesterday I gave you an example. You are going to a new place. If you are going to a new place, right? So what you'll do, you will check the map, you will get all the things into action. Either I should go by bus, auto, or a metro, or my own vehicle. The first time planning. So this program development, for the first initial days, we will follow this, but later on not required. So designing will happen in brain. Literally speaking, designing will happen in the brain. Means it is always like keeping things on the paper. Okay, so it is always like understanding the program requirements. Yes or no? Understanding the program requirements. Yes or no? So it is just like cooking. So first time when we are cooking biryani, so we will follow the ingredients, we will follow the style, or we will follow the paper in which everything is written. We'll follow a video and all. But second time if we are cooking, we will not follow all that because we know already. Is it clear? So same. See, don't take that program is something different. Program is just like cooking. Program is just like traveling. Program is just like what we do for time pass. That's it. Yes. But the only thing is, this is going to give us a good job. That's it. That's the only thing that a program speciality is. Yes or no? So it is just like a normal thing in our life. So take that normal thing which will earn you a job. Okay, so it is just a normal thing. So don't take it too high. Don't expect that program will be hard, program will be tough, nothing like that. So programs will be very, very easy. The only thing that you have to do is you have to practice well. That's it. Whatever I'm giving, you have to practice. That's it. Nothing else. Yes or no? Okay, so what is the art of programming also we will understand today. So we'll take some use cases. Okay, and I'll give you a clear idea how we can understand the program, how we are going to write the program. Okay, we'll just see samples, some samples. Okay, before going into Java development and everything. So first we understand the sampling means we can understand easily, right? Okay. Next, after designing the program, what is the next thing that I need to do? I need to write the code. I need to write the code. So writing the code. So what do I mean by writing the code, sir? Writing the code is nothing but I am going to select a program, either Java, Python, or C, C plus, whatever the program is, right? So suppose I want to go to some place. I can go by cycle, I can go by a bike, I can go by walk. It's my wish. The only thing is I need to reach the destination. So, but what you have selected, suppose I have a bike, I will select bike to go. Now I have, when you have taken the course Java, so you use Java programming. You use what? Java programming to write the code. Yes or no? So what we are using, sir, here? We are using Java code. Okay, so Java code. Is that clear? Okay. After writing, is it over? The task is not over. So next is you have to check for the which errors? Syntax errors. What you have to check for? Syntax error. Check for what? Check for the syntax error. So what we need to do, sir, next? We need to check the which errors? Syntax errors. We need to check the syntax errors. Okay, how do we check, sir? We check with the help of the compiler. Okay, so we will do this activity later practically, but for now, just we will understand what is error and all. Yes, okay. Then we will have to test the code. What we'll have to do? We will have to test the code. Getting my point? What we have to do, sir, now? We have to test the code. Is that clear? What we'll have to do? We will have to test the code. Understanding my point? Okay. So testing the code will be done by what? In Java, interpreter or JVM. Okay. So there is a long process. We need to look at that later. Okay. And finally, what we have to check? So is it correct? Is it correct? So is it logically right? Is it logically right? So you are getting the output correct or not? Yes or no? So what do you have to check for now? You have to check for the logical errors. Check for logical errors. Okay. Now let's say you wrote the code and you have some syntax errors. What you'll do again? You will again need to go and write the code, not complete code, of course. So not complete code. So wherever the error is there, that error you have to correct. Is my point clear? So you need to rewrite the program without syntax errors. That is the point. No need to write completely, don't delete the program and completely write. No, no need. So wherever the syntax error is there, okay, your software will help you. Your software will help you in giving you the syntax errors. It will tell you, all right, this is the place where you have the syntax error. So you can go there and you can check for the syntax errors and you can write. Is this clear? Yes or no? Okay. After that, you test the code. So testing the code means giving some inputs. Testing the code means what? Giving some inputs. Okay. So that inputs you are giving, your program is running correctly or not. So that is what is testing. Getting my point or not? So testing means suppose now I got a new phone. Now what I will be doing? I will be testing it, giving the charging. Yes or no? So giving the charging, apps I'm installing, is this app running fast or not? So this is all testing. This is all testing. Yes or no? Okay. So after the testing is over, you will get what? You will get the output. Now in that output, what you have to check for? You have to check for the logical errors. If there are logical errors, again, what do you do? Again, you need to write the code. Okay. Again, you need to write the code or check the code basically, or check the code which is giving you that logical error. Who is the responsible one for getting that logical errors? That also again going and writing the code. Again, you write the code again. So this is a process. This process will go on until when? Until your program is free from logical errors. Means what you are expecting, you are getting that output or not. It is as simple as that. Is this point clear or not? Yes? Okay. Now, as I've told you, we will be talking about the errors. So, what are errors? I told you errors are nothing but the mistakes. Errors are nothing but the mistakes that takes place in the program intentionally or unintentionally. Yes? Okay. So, we'll write that point. So, what are errors, sir? Errors are nothing but the mistakes, nothing but the mistakes that take place in the program, takes place in the program. First, we'll clear off these steps. Once we clear off these steps, we can go to the use cases. Okay, so that is where the flow will be correct. Okay, the mistake that takes place in the program intentionally or unintentionally. Intentionally means wantedly. Unintentionally means without our knowledge. Without our knowledge. Yes? Getting my point? Okay. Now, in Java programming, now we will talk about Java programming. In Java programming, we have three types of errors. Three types of errors. So what we face, sir? Three types of errors we face. Yes. So first type, syntax errors. Type is what? Syntax errors. Or these are also known as compile time errors. They're also known as what? Compile time errors. Okay. Next, runtime errors or runtime errors means that will come at the time of execution, at the time of testing the code. Yes. So runtime errors, or you can also call them as exceptions. You can also call them as exceptions. We can call them as exceptions. Runtime errors or exceptions. Is this clear? Okay. And finally, logical errors. Now people will ask me, sir, what type of errors are mostly faced by the real-time programmers? The answer is logical errors. The answer is what? Logical errors. Because syntax errors will be conveyed, runtime errors will be conveyed, but logical errors will not be conveyed. I'll tell you a simple example, real-time example. Now you gave, suppose I want to pay some electricity bill. Okay, so we'll take our daily life example. Suppose I want to pay some electricity bill. Okay, so now I will enter my bill number. Now if I am getting some others bill, I will get the output. I'm getting the bill. I'm not saying no. I'm getting the bill. If I'm getting the bill, but that bill is not mine, then what kind of error is that? Logical error. Is that clear? Now in the real time, why sir, why you are talking about real time? In the real time also, sometimes there will be problems when you enter everything and you'll get the wrong details. Yes or no? So why you are getting wrong details? Because there was some logical error. The testing was not perfect. The testing was not perfect. Yes or no? Is my point clear? Okay, sometimes ATM. Okay, so just visited ATM. So that example I'll give you. In my real life, it happened. Okay, so once I went to the ATM, so I just put my card and I have just given the amount. The amount got deducted from my account, but I did not get the cash. What is that error? Logical error. It's a logical error. It's not a syntax error. It's not a runtime error. Syntax error, runtime error will come at what time? Will come at the program development time, program running time. But logical error will come as the output. Hope you're understanding my point. So most of the time in real time also we will be facing this logical errors. That is why a lot of testings will be done on the program. So testing, manual testing, automation testing, Selenium, you might have heard all these things, right? So what are all these? These are the testing things. So lots of tests will go on the programs. Hope you're understanding my point. So this is where we will be dealing with the logical errors, where your testing is not done perfectly. Is that clear? Yes. Not only us students, right? So we will be having these logical errors in the real time also. I'll give you so many examples later. Yes. Okay. Now first we'll talk about which errors, syntax errors, and or which errors, compile time errors. So these errors will be coming at the time of compilation, when you are not following the rules and regulations of the program. So who will give these rules and regulations? The Java ecosystem. Who will give the rules and regulations? The Java environment. Now you go to college. So in college there will be so many rules and regulations. If you are not following those rules and regulations, they will be giving fines and everything. Yes or no? Then what is logical error in college? Everything you followed and everything you did. Finally, your subject. Okay, I should not talk about this negative sense, but you failed in one subject. Then that is logical error for you. So you followed the rules, you wrote the exams perfectly, right? And at the end, what you wanted to become, what you wanted to have, you wanted to have that paper passed, but unluckily you got failed because your logic, what you wrote in the exam, were wrong. It is as simple as that. I can take so many examples as I've told. Okay, so what is syntax error, sir? The errors that will come at the compile time. Sir, where is compile time, sir, here? So compile time is here. Exactly. Yes. Where is compile time? When you are checking for the syntax error. When you are checking for the syntax error. Yes or no? When you are checking for what? Syntax error. So at the compile time. The errors that will come at the compile time when the programmer the programmer is not following what? The rules and regulations, guidelines, whatever you call them. So rules and regulations of the program program ecosystem. Yes, of the program ecosystem. Yes or no? Okay, sir. Example. Okay, example, something like missing semicolons. Now programs require semicolons. So sometimes you will be missing semicolons. Okay. So sometimes you will be going for misspellings. Okay. Misspellings. So spellings also important. If you are missing the spellings, you are using small letter instead of capital letter, or you are using capital letter instead of small letter. So at that time, you will be getting these errors. Just examples I'm telling you. Is this understood? Yes or no? So at the time of programming, we will understand what are the rules, what are the regulations, basic regulations. Yes, that we will follow. Is it clear? Okay. Then what about runtime errors or exceptions? Okay, so now one more point I need to write here, a small note. The syntax error in the program will will make the program make the program not to execute even a single line, even a single line. So one line also will not get executed. Okay, so in program maybe 200 lines, 300 lines. So if there is an error, if there is a syntax error in 15th line, so that previous lines also will not get executed, that next lines also will not get executed. So rules are very, very important. Yes, anyhow, in our life also, rules are important. No? If you are not following the rules, what will happen? There will be so much of stoppage. Yes or no? So if you are not following the rules, so they will stop. Suppose traffic signal. So if you are not okay, here, fines are there. But what happens in other countries, so they will not allow you to go forward. If you are not following the rules, they will be making you. Okay, one example I'll give you. In US, some Indian students went to the shop. They did some kind of robbery there. So what they did, they arrested and they made those students to come to India back. Why like that? Because if you are not following the rules, means you are out. Means it will not execute anything. Am I clear? But here it is not like that. So they will excuse or something. Okay. So our Country rules are not that strict, but in other countries they are very, very strict. Yes, is my point clear? Okay. Now here, next thing is runtime errors and exceptions, or I should say. So what are runtime errors, sir? Runtime errors will come at the testing of the code. Will come at what? Testing of the code. So runtime errors means syntax and everything will be perfect. Syntax and everything will be perfect. But what happens? While running the code, it will say, I will stop here. I will not go forward. I'll not go forward. I'll give you one example. Not one. Okay. So these exceptions occur at the runtime. Occur at the runtime. Runtime means testing the code. At the time of testing code. Runtime means testing of the code according to our steps. According to our steps, when it will come, they will come at the runtime or the testing of the code. Is that clear? Okay. So when I'm talking about runtime, the testing of the code means you are not having any syntax errors. Syntax errors are not there. Means you followed the rules and regulations. Okay. Okay. One example I tell you. Okay. For example, now let's say I took a is equal to 5, b is equal to 3, and I said a plus b, a minus b, a divided by b, and a into b. Okay. And a modulus b. Okay. So I'll say again. Okay. So this is fine. Otherwise, I'll do this. Yeah, I don't want to trick you with different things. Okay. Now tell me the answers. A plus b. Sorry, a minus b. A minus b. 2. Okay. A divided by b. 3 point something. Okay, fine. Okay. So 3 point something. Okay. Right. A into b. 15. Okay. A plus b. 8. Super. Right. Now, are there any syntax errors here? No. Are there any logical errors here? No. What is logical error? Getting the wrong output. No wrong output, no, everything is clear. Okay. Now, I will give different inputs. I'll give what? Different inputs. Now, A is equal to 5, B is equal to 0. Okay. Now, same. A minus B, A divided by B, A into B, and A plus B. Now, tell me what is A minus B? 5. A divided by B. 5 divided by 0. So according to mathematics, it is infinity. But this is runtime error. What is this? Runtime error. So what's this? The system will not understand what output to be given. It can't give infinity. It can't give infinity. So what it gave you? It gave you runtime error or exception. What it gave you? Runtime error or exception. So what is runtime error? When the system is unable to give the output. System is unable to give the output because it does not understand what is it. What is a divided by 0? I don't understand. So what it gave you? It gave you exception. Point number 1. Point number 2. After that exception, generally these are not having any errors, no? But these also will not get executed. Before ones got executed. Before ones got executed. Yes or no? Before ones means A is equal to 5, clear. B is equal to 0, clear. A minus B, clear. But when the exception came, the program shuts down. The program shuts down completely. Over. End of the story. Yes. These are clear or not? So means the program will not continue.
at the last, before the key will be displayed.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So before exception, everything will be executed. After the exception, nothing will get executed. Yes, these are clear. Now 60 members attending one exam. Roll number 6 is copywriting. Now, if I say 6 to 60 will not should not write the exam, is that correct? No. Yes or no? So what we should do? We should eliminate that sixth person. That's it. We should make all others write the exam. Yes or no? Is my point clear? Then there should be some solution for this also, no? So the solution is nothing but exception handling. What is the solution? Exception handling. Is my point clearly understood? So what is the exception you understood now? Exception is nothing but runtime error. So what a runtime error is? The error that will come at the runtime. When it will come? When the program will not understand what output has to be given. When the program will not understand what output has to be given. Mathematically, it is infinity. We all know that. But computer does not understand this pi by 0. Is this clear? Yes? Okay. Now, what I should say here? The exception will not make the next lines of code to execute. Now, what is the difference between previous one and this one?
Previous one won't allow to execute any single line.
Exactly, not even a single line. But exception, before lines, no problem.
After that,
After that, only problem will come. Yes, but this is not correct according to the programmer. Why? Because that line you can ignore, but other lines are correct one, So then, how can I come out of that? By using exception handling. Exception handling is a big topic again. So that topic we will discuss later. Okay, right. So the exception will not make the next lines to get executed. Okay. So the solution for this is the solution for executing the next lines is which handling? Exception handling. Exception handling. Is my point clearly understood? Yes or no? Is it clear? Okay. So that is, so, I cannot go into further details because again we need to discuss with examples and all. So for now, just try to understand what is that error. That's it. Clear? Syntax error clear? Runtime error clear? So what is syntax error? The error when you don't follow the rules and regulation. Runtime error, you follow the rules, but the system will not be able to give the output. The system also will give you a message. For syntax error also it will give a message. For runtime error also it will give a message. But for whom the message won't be given?
logical.
Exactly. So logical error. Logical error. Right? Okay. Now let us do this logical error with a use case, but we will try to write a definition. These errors, these errors will, these errors will come up when the programmer gets a uh, irrelevant output, irrelevant output, or I should say, gets an unexpected output. So he was expecting different, and he is getting different. He's expecting different, and he is getting different output. So that is where you say that which error is there? Logical error is there. Is my point clearly understood? So logical error means you are expecting something, you got something. Okay. Now I'll give a use case. So for example, okay, uh, print the and so we will write increase the salary of an employee increase the salary of an employee by rupees 1000, by rupees 1000, or we will give some percentage, that is better. Increase the salary of an employee by 5% and print the salary and print the salary. Okay. So this is one simple use case. Now what inputs have to be taken? Salary. Okay. So salary is equal to something like 5,000. Let's say. Okay. Yes. Okay. So now what I'm saying, salary is equal to increase by how much? Right. So salary into how much percentage? 5%. So 5% means 0.05, right? Okay. Now print the salary. Now can you calculate this and tell me? Okay, so we'll calculate here. 5,000. So 5,000 into 5 by 100. 0.000055 is 25. So salary has become how much? 250. What you're expecting? What you're expecting actually? 5,000 plus 250. So what you're expecting? 5250. But what you are getting? What is this error? Is there any syntax error? Is there any logical error? Is there any runtime error? No. Runtime error means you will not get the output. No? Then where we did a mistake? Where we did a mistake? We did the mistake in our logic. Inputs 5%, output 5%. But what is important? I told you, logic is important. Okay. So what do you have to say? Salary is equal to salary plus. Okay. Otherwise, I'll write this is with the logical error. This is with the logical error. Why, sir, you are saying logical error? Because what is expected output? Expected output is 5250. What is the actual output? Actual output is 250. Yes, that is why it is having a logical error. Okay. Now, how can you come out of this? Again, what you have to do? Again, go back to the step one. Now you have the syntax error. You will go and write the code. If you have the logical error, again you have to go and write the code. So do I need to write all the lines? No, not required. I need to just correct the logic. I need to just correct the logic. So what is the logic here? Salary plus salary into 0.05. Done. Yes. Now what is the calculation? 5,000. So salary is equal to, don't keep it like in mathematics. Left side every time you will put the value. Okay, left side keep it as it is. So salary into, what is the salary? 5,000 into 5 by 100. Then 5,000 plus 250. So what is the answer? 5250. Is this clear? Yes. Now you understood without logical error, with logical error, without logical error. You got a clear idea now? Yes or no? So this is without logical error. Is this clearly understood or not? Yes, that is how you need to design your programs also. What should not be there? Logical errors should not be there. Runtime error should not be there. Syntax errors. So for syntax errors and runtime errors, system will help you somehow, some way or the other. So syntax error means it will give you some message, you have to correct it. Runtime error means you can do exception handling. Yes, you can do exception handling. But for logical errors, no help. What you have to do? You have to think. You have to think about it. This is where the design comes into the picture. Yes. So we should not go for the things blindly. So we should think about it. So thinking is the logic here. That's it. Is it clear? Hope you are understanding my points. Yes or no? Now coming back to the steps. This point is clear, everyone? Algorithm flowchart means some lines you can write some flowchart. Okay, we will do that. We will do that in the program. Writing the code, we did not write the code in Java, but we wrote somehow some other code. Yes. Next, compiler. What a compiler will do? Check the syntax errors. Okay, what is compiler? What is interpreter? What is JVM? We will know later. Yes. Next, what is syntax error? You understood, no? So we are not going for runtime errors here. The runtime errors will not fit here. So that is why we are not going, but we will do it later. Yes. Testing the code. Testing the code means running the code simply. Running the code, and if you are getting the right output, okay, no issues. If you are getting the wrong output, again you have to go and write the code. Is it crystal clear? Yes. Now you understood what is the importance of these steps. Yes or no? Okay. Now, as I've told you, we will be solving some use cases. Sorry. Okay. 1 second. So we do not go to Java or we do not go anywhere, but we will try to understand them. Okay. So go for the second thing, sales prediction. So what, sir, why you are giving this total description of the things? That is what is there in the real time also. In the real time also, they will not give write a program for addition, print the largest of two numbers. That is only for our learning understanding. But in real time, things like this only will be there. Now you are developing a software which will predict the sales. Now he will ask you to develop an application. He'll ask you to develop a application. So application which is doing sales prediction. I told you, right? Real-time scenarios we will be working with. These are the real-time scenarios. Now just read the lines. A company has determined its annual profit, typically 23% of the total sales. Write a program that takes projected amount of total sales and display the profit that will be made from that amount. Now, what are the things that you need to understand from this? What are our I's? What are our O's? And what is the P that I have to write? What is I? I. No, I for inputs. What are the inputs required? What is O? What are the outputs required? What is P? What is the logic required? Now, let us take this in our program. So the art of programming. Okay, so once we learn the art of programming, then it will be very, very easy. Okay, now, so company has determined what? So you can make that into parts, no problem. So determine that annual profit is typically 23% of the total sales. Okay. So this is actually the use case. This is what we are going to understand, do in the program. What you have to take? Take the projected amount of total sales. Total sales is equal to how much? Total sales is equal to any number, anything I can use. Let's say total sales is 50,000. Total sales is how much? 50,000. Okay. Display the profit that will be made from the amount. What is the profit? He said 23% of the total sales. Okay. Now I will put profit. Sorry. Uh, yeah. Profit percent. Profit percent. So profit percent is equal to how much, sir? Profit percent is equal to 23%. So generally 23% means we can use 0.23. We can use that way, no? Yes. Okay. So 0.23 or 2.3? 0.23. Fine. Okay. So 23%. Okay. So hint also is given, right? Okay. So next. Now what you have to print? You have to print profit amount. What do you have to print, sir? Profit amount. Now tell me what is profit amount? Okay, here one simple hint I mean, simple suggestion I will give you. The suggestion is don't use this data. Use the variable, we generally call it in programming. Use the placeholders. What is the placeholders of the total sales? What is the placeholder of 50,000? Total sales. What is the placeholder of 0.23? Profit percentage. Now you'll ask me, so why, sir? Now this program he want to use for different total sales. Now if you are fixed to 50,000, then every time it will take 50,000 only, no? Yes or no? So that is why what you have to take? You have to take this left wala. Total sales into profit percent. This is the this is the art of programming. That is what I am telling you. Yes or no? So total sales into profit percent. Yes. Now what I have to print, sir? I have to. So we are not writing Java program. Once again, I'm telling you, this all we will convert into Java program later. Don't worry. For that, we need to understand some more things. Is this clear? Yes or no? Yes. So total sales is equal to 50,000. Profit percent is equal to 0.23. Profit amount is equal to total sales into profit percent. So 50,000 into 0.23 will take place automatically. Yes. Am I crystal clear? Okay. So you can call this as pseudocode. Pseudocode means no need of writing any Java program or Python program. So you just give your idea a shape. Your idea shape. Your idea shape. Your idea shape. That's it. So like that, I have 10 problems. I'll share you 3 problems today. Okay. So 3 problems. I want you to solve that and come tomorrow. Is this clear? Yes, from that list only I will send you. Is this clearly understood or not? Now tell me, do I require total sales plus total sales into profit percent? No. Why? Because what is asking? Is asking only profit amount. Yes, is asking only profit amount. So that is where the understanding of the program is crucial. If you don't understand the program better, your output will be wrong.
So in which case we can use the total sales plus total.
If he's asking you please, so now simple interest problems. In our childhood, there used to be simple interest problems. So simple interest means we used to say simple interest is equal to PTR by 100. This is only interest. This interest I need to put it to the principal amount also, no? So that is where you have to add. Here total sales is different, profit is different. So again, this profit, what I will do, this profit I will keep it aside. So I will not involve that in sales. So I got my capital amount. Total sales means capital amount I got. What profit I got, I will not mix those. Again, that is again domain understanding. So if this profit also I want to put it in the capital next time, then I'll go for it. Yes. Now, for example, if I'm saying next project, in the next project I want to keep the profit in the sales, then I'll put that. It all depends on the requirement basically. Is it clear? So as I've told you, I'll be giving 3 or 4 questions, 3 only, okay, not 4. I'll be giving you 3 questions like this. You have to solve them and come tomorrow. Is it clear? Okay, so we'll stop it here. If you have any doubts, any questions, you can ask me. Yeah, any questions, online people, offline people, if you have any questions, any queries, you can ask. Right? Thank you. So we'll meet tomorrow.